Surely you... Look, the Margaret Lobster. Didn't he say that Lord Constadt was going with them?
Aye, so what? He left a long time ago.
I swear to God, I saw him here a little while ago.
Now we close our doors for the evening. People here know what to do. There'll be plenty more tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday.
I'd rather eat well. Don't talk about it. Have you lost your hearing?
You in need of something, my wild friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Not a bit. I'm just a cynical old pragmatist.
In that case, in quite simple and pragmatic terms, the wine has run out.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
I'd rather eat well.
How'd you like her wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if you'd only known he had a real connoisseur here.
Best barrels! Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the taste is of little consequence.
And vacu, boku. Damn it.
About the girls or the piglet?
Still can't wait for that ginger cunt to finally fuck off. Let's drink and be merry. What do you say?
Good health.
All right. Sorry. I couldn't resist either.
Great, Margaret.
But you know my answer. I appreciate your friendship, but I'd rather run my own affairs.
I understand. Let's at least drink to your success.
And let's drink to the future of Lady Yitzhak. May her marriage to Lord Capon bring her happiness.
They're young. They'll have plenty of time to cultivate that happiness.
Well, the groom isn't looking too happy at the moment.
I wouldn't worry about it if I were you, my dear.
It's easy for you to say. You don't have to listen to it day in, day out.
A little gossip. You act like you don't know the world of the lords.
Lords and ladies. You either ignore us or slander us.
We do? Who do you mean?
Not you.
Have you ever thought about getting married again? It would make a lot of things easier for you.
And how should I interpret this question?
In the simplest terms, I'm offering you a business deal without any ulterior motives. I am far too old for some sentimental courtship.
You're amusing. But you know my answer. I appreciate your friendship. But I'd rather run my own affairs.
I understand. Let's at least drink to your success.
And let's drink to the future of Lady Yoko. May her marriage to Lord Caithan bring her happiness.
They're young. They'll have plenty of time to cultivate that happiness.
Well, the groom isn't looking too happy at the moment.
Have you ever thought about getting married again? It would make a lot of things...
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush? Raise an army, prepare a wedding feast and all that?
All hail Yobs. He sorted things out here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's more than I wanted to give him. But you know how it goes. Give them a finger. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with Hanush where the wedding will take place?
Nothing to discuss. The wedding will take place at our castle Littitz, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be much.
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Rattay. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have the wedding there.
What? In Rattay? Well, I ought to look into that then.
But deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's messenger anymore.
I wouldn't worry about it if I were you, my dear.
Having a good time?
He's a fucking bore. These old farts here have no idea what fun is.
Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food, even a few females worth the same.
I'd rather have a game of dice. Or a good punch-up.
Well, let's have a game then. But for what?
For a coin. What else?
Since it's yourself, I'll wager 20 groschen.
Now that's a pile of coin. Just enough for a warm beer and a cold wench. But whatever, I'll take it.
Want to roll some dice?
Sure. How much will you wager?
Playing for coin's a bore. You got anything else to wager?
I might have something. But you'll have to bet at least 20 groschen against it.
And what might that be?
Let's keep it a surprise. You won't be sorry, though.
What the hell? It'll be fun at least.
You bet it will.
Want to roll some dice?
Sure. How much will you wager?
I don't play for coin. Might end up starving.
Well, you can stuff yourself enough here to last you a week. Suit yourself.
In the simplest terms, I'm offering you a business.
Some easily spooked pony is the last thing you need.
I've got some warm wood downstairs. They're all needed in the morning.
And why would he do that? If he was so favoured as to run away from the first army that crossed his path.
Meum et propositum in taberna mori.
Hunger, poverty, and plague, it's too much for a man to take. Even men of faith are cowering, faced by evil overpowering.
Everybody likes a drop of white. The rat'll be good, I hope.
But
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootheart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to this celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Jesus! The surrounded Christopher! He can't make it on his own.
Show your stuff!
Not one step back! Stand your ground!
Come and help me with this bastard!
Find those horses out!
Get the pieces! Live like the rest, and now you die!
Die! Go! You're dead.
That hit home!
Hey! Get him! You can't take me! No, you can't!
Hey, you bastard!
Take that fucker out, damn it! Die! You got him! That's a
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me.
Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but... not everyone was so lucky.
Where did they go? Back to Rattay?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while.
Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother.
But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. For nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Well, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I wouldn't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghow took them.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
Markvart bragged about it to Sigismund, and Sigismund promised to make him Lord of Raborsh in return.
When he sees what von Berghow did with it, he'll shit himself.
You find that funny? Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat, trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with Christopher meanwhile.
They put enough arrows in him to knock down 3 like him.
What about your horse?
I don't know. I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his mane and tail on fire.
Maybe he survived. Maybe he'll come back.
Or maybe the crows are feasting on him already.
Poor animal. Handsome, young, sturdy.
Well, at least it was over quick. Though, he almost took Hinek of Kunstad.
Damn. That dry devil is as tough as old boots. If a horse fell on me, I wouldn't get up again.
One Kunstad captured, the other almost crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, they brought it upon themselves. Bonchek is as greedy as a pig, and Hinek is... well, you know.
Leave it alone. The two of you. Now we're in it with them anyway.
One Kunstad captured, the other almost crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, they brought it upon themselves. This is a night.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Even a man like you can't know everything. At least you're all alive.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join. Jesus Christ!
What do you make of this Brabant fellow?
He's unquestionably a remarkable knight, that Vakalin. He rambles on a lot, though. My head nearly burst listening to him sometimes. Although it was better than being stuck there alone. Otherwise, he seems to me like a bold and worldly gentleman, if a little obsessed with wealth.
I agree. He seems quite likeable. And he's got a score to settle with Sigismund, like we do.
He certainly has.
What happened when von Berghoff hauled you off after the Nabokov battle?
It was a dreadful journey. Jesus, don't even remind me. It was a bit better in Malashov. Apart from being locked up, of course.
Did anything happen along the way?
No, but it took ages to get to Malashov. 4 or 5 days in that god-awful cart. I was traveling with von Owlet's minions. They hauled me in one of the wagons. They treated my wounds a bit, but I was still in a really bad way. After that battle and all.
What did they do with you in Malashov?
Nothing much, actually. They took care of my wounds, and then stuck me in a room with Brabant. But they treated me decently, as befits a noble. Von Berghoff came asking questions a couple of times, but that was about it. Only I almost went mad from being cramped in that damned room. It's a good thing you got me out of there.
What was the problem with the room?
That I couldn't get out of there. You saw yourself when you came for me, didn't you? It's just that since Nabokov, when they shot the tower right down on my head and I was stuck there. Well, since then, I don't feel well in cramped spaces. Actually, I never did. I always preferred to be outdoors. But since Nabokov, it's worse than ever. I had a feeling the roof would fall on my head again and I'd be buried alive.
I understand. It's a bit awkward for you that the nobility lives in castles.
That's a fact. Once I get my hands on my estates, I'll build a new castle that only has huge rooms and lots of spacious courtyards. And above all, no secret passages.
Great. I'm really looking forward to this new castle of yours.
You can be the castellan or something. Don't worry, I won't forget you. I'll even have a forge built so you feel right at home.
They didn't let you out at all? But you were in that room for ages.
No. They let us walk around the fortress a bit. We even went out for a ride twice, but they watched us like hawks. Not a chance of escape. But most of the time we were in that room. Like I say, I'm really glad you got me out of that hole.
What did von Burgov want from you?
Just the usual courtesies. The captivity of nobles has to observe certain formalities, you know? It's not like they can just throw you in some hole. They behaved fairly respectfully, but of course he was fishing for information. About Radzig and Hanush, and especially Jobst. What they're planning, how many men they have on the field, who else they're negotiating with and that.
And what did you tell him?
Nothing that he didn't already know. I played as dumb as the village idiot. I only told him they sent us with that message and discussed the rest when we were gone.
And did he swallow it?
I think he suspected I was bluffing a bit. And then he tried to loosen my tongue by letting me go hungry for a while. But he soon gave up when he saw he was getting nothing more from me.
My word. Nice work keeping him at bay. But the main thing is, you're alive and kicking. And back with us.
Indeed.
Spare the animal.
My Tempest lost his life too. They put enough arrows in him to knock down 3 rifles.
What about your horse?
I don't know. I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his mane and tail on fire.
Maybe he survived. Maybe he'll come back.
Or maybe the crows are feasting on him already.
One Kunstadt captured, the other almost crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, brought it upon themselves.
Spare the animal.
Now we're in it with him anyway.
One Kunstadt captured, the other almost crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, brought it upon themselves. Fortune is as greedy as a pig. Hinegis, well, no.
Leave it alone, the two of you. Now we're in it with him anyway.
Poor animal. Handsome, young, sturdy.
Well, at least it was over quick. Though, you almost took Hinekov Kunstler.
Yes.
That dry devil is as tough as old boots. If a horse fell on me, I wouldn't get up again.
Then we'll have
One
it done.
Kunstadt captured.
He's not a little boy anymore. Soon he'll get married and have a bunch of children.
We can only hope.
This is a nightmare.
The bodies outside are still warm, and you're thinking about food.
So what? Fighting makes a man hungry. I'm sure the people in the hall could use a hot meal too.
What good Samaritans you all are.
Would it be very rude to ask for something to eat?
I'm not saying
My thoughts exactly.
The bodies outside are still warm, and you're thinking about food.
So what? Fighting makes a man hungry. Supporters. I'm sure end up on the gallows in 2 shakes.
So, you think Odoran, Ruthard, and Bodchek?
I don't think anything.
I think it'd be best to get out.
But if you got yourself killed, it wouldn't have helped him. That's true. We need to get you into safety. You're the Lord of Raborsh now. I'll leave it out. At least you survived. Do you think you can make it to Suchdol? All right. Peter of Pesach is our ally. He'll surely let you stay there, at least until you get back on your feet.
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes 2 of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did he talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless.
ransack their houses, and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
Let's not waste time.